I am Cam Rogers. Hit me up on Twitter at Mr. Rogers99. It is time for the 49ers Mailbag, where I answer all of your burning questions out there. And we'll start things off with an amazing fan of Chat Sports, Bray, in the comments section. As always, we love you, Bray, for tuning into the program. Who is the dark horse player to make the 53-man roster? It's a great question because as we enter training camp, a lot of question marks out there in terms of which players will actually make the team. Here is your answer. Richie James. This guy was really dynamic at Middle Tennessee State. You take a look at his career, 243 receptions, over 3,000 yards, 23 touchdowns. He was a 7th-round selection from the NFL draft for the 49ers, and he earned a lot of buzz during the rookie minicamp, and I was really tracking what the reports were out there about Richie James, and they were very, very positive. So that tells me that James could be a really sneaky option to emerge during training camp and make the roster. And look, there have been a lot of positive reports out there about many of the 49ers wide receivers, James included, but Kendrick Bourne has gotten some buzz out there. Dante Pettis, of course, has that second-round pedigree to his name. So it's going to be a bit of an uphill climb, I think, for Richie James to make the team just because of the depth that the 49ers have at the wide receiver position. But as I said, if he carries that momentum from rookie minicamp into training camp in late July and early August, and heck, maybe performs well during the preseason, that'll spell good news for Richie James to make the team. Next up on the list, how about a trade for Earl Thomas? This coming from Frank on Facebook. And Frank, first of all, this is not the Cowboys report, okay? There is no rumor out there that Earl Thomas is going to the San Francisco 49ers, but let me at least address the notion here. Earl Thomas is heading into the final year of his contract with the Seattle Seahawks, and he has been very adamant that he wants a long-term deal done. In fact, he posted on social media recently how, hey, sign me to a long-term deal or trade me away. And maybe that's where you got the question, Frank, in terms of perhaps making a deal for Earl Thomas. But this just is not happening. The 49ers won't make a deal for Thomas because they have enough ability at safety with Jaquiski Tartt and Adrian Colbert. Heck, Jimmy Ward as well. They got Tarvarius Moore, their 3rd-round selection. Look, Thomas is an elite player, and yeah, there's that narrative that maybe he can team up and reunite with Richard Sherman and maybe have a new Legion of Boom, but this time in the Bay Area. But Thomas was pretty vocal about going to the Dallas Cowboys. You may recall that Seattle-Dallas game last year when Thomas went up to Jason Garrett after the game and said, hey, make a deal for me and all that stuff. So I just don't see the 49ers orchestrating a trade for Earl Thomas. So 0 jet heads on that one. Now, if there is a trade that will go down within the 49ers, keep an eye out for Joshua Garnett if he loses the starting right guard job to Jonathan Cooper. Speaking of that offensive line, Greg Martin on Facebook asking if the offensive line is set as we stand. And I think everything is in good shape except for the right guard spot. So at left tackle, of course, you have Joe Staley. At left guard, you have Laken Tomlinson. At center, you have Weston Richburg. Right guard, the competition between Jonathan Cooper and Joshua Garnett is something that I am zoning in on. Of course, you have Mike McGlinchey at right tackle as well. So really one position on that front 5. And I actually have Jonathan Cooper beating out Joshua Garnett at the right guard slot. You guys have heard me talk about Cooper many times on this program. And in that vein, that makes Joshua Garnett, a former 1st-round selection during the Trent Baalke era, to be a very high-profile trade target for the 49ers. So in terms of the offensive line, 4/5 of it is set. So 80%, if you want to do the math there, is set to go for week 1 in my opinion. And I think the offensive line is going to be a lot better than last season. All right, so appreciate that question there, Greg. You guys are watching the 49ers Report presented by the Game Time app. Do you want 60% off all those last-minute sports tickets, concert tickets, and so much more? Check them out, chatsports.com/tickets. That'll take you to where you can download this 5-star app for iPhone and Android. Get it done. All right, we got another question coming in. Kevin, big-time fan of the show, as well as the Cam Rogers show. We appreciate you, Kevin. Asking about Dez Bryant. Any chance the Niners get Dez? He says, I hope not. I think we're okay at wide receiver. Kevin, I agree. I think you are okay at wide receiver. Now, in terms of Dez Bryant and where we stand, there's not much to really report, guys. The market has been very quiet so far, but I can confidently say that he is not going to the San Francisco 49ers. The one argument is, yes, San Francisco has the salary cap space to do it. Other than that, I don't have a good argument for you guys, other than any exclusive reporting that comes my way. But as of now, I don't have too much to really report on. So for the 49ers, like I mentioned earlier in the program, they have a lot of depth at the wide receiver position. Why throw a wrench into all that and get Dez Bryant, who, yes, will be valuable for the team, but I just think it doesn't make much sense from a chemistry standpoint and from a continuity standpoint. Now, do you want the 49ers to sign Dez Bryant? It's a very polarizing question right now. Hit me up in the reaction poll on Facebook Live. Hit that heart for yes. Hit that like for no. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to comment with the heart or thumbs up emoji. Be sure to let me know what you guys think about Dez Bryant. Of course, we'll be reporting more on Dez as we go throughout the coming weeks because his market should pick up steam as training camp goes along. All right, this has been the 49ers Report. I am Cam Rogers. Be sure to hit me up on Twitter at Mr. Rogers99. I'll see you next time.